Mga kapatid, gusto namin kayong maligtas.
My dear people, I wish you to pray.
I'm very sorry. I tried
Faith in the Philippines is never confined to churches or chapels. It reaches rallies, town plazas, radio stations, and voting precincts. It shapes how people think, how communities unite, and how leaders rise or fall. For more than 100 years, religious voices have influenced the nation in moments of crisis and in moments of calm. Some moved millions with a single announcement. Some confronted presidents when the nation needed a conscience. Others transformed their congregations into disciplined communities that politicians could not ignore. Hello everyone, welcome back to FunFact. If you love videos that make you smarter every time you watch, please like, share, and subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you'll never miss our next episode. Tonight, we examine the 10 Filipino religious leaders whose influence extended far beyond the pulpit. This is not about doctrine. This is not about miracles. This is about political impact. Who shaped elections? Who pressured governments? Who altered public opinion when it mattered most? These are the 10 most politically influential religious leaders in Philippine history. Let us begin. Number 10 is Brother Armin Altamirano Luistro, FSC, President of the De La Salle Educational System, trusted advisor of national leaders, and former Secretary of Education. Brother Armin is from Lipa City, Batangas. He finished his bachelor's degree in philosophy and letters, along with his graduate studies in religious education and management at De La Salle University. He is a member of the De La Salle Brothers in the Catholic Church. The La Sallian community he leads is massive, over 60,000 students, thousands of teachers, and a nationwide alumni network known for loyalty, activism, and civic involvement. La Sallians are tightly knit and socially aware, and many come from influential families. This gives Brother Armin a strong voice among the youth and the middle to upper class. Why is Brother Armin in the top 10? Because he turned educational leadership into political influence. He became one of the most trusted advisors of national leaders, including the Aquino family. As Secretary of Education, he pushed the K-12 reform, a bold attempt to raise Philippine education to global standards. Critics fought the reform fiercely, but Brother Armin's influence, credibility, and political backing carried it forward. He is also a vocal critic of politicians linked to anomalies and scandals. His voice carries weight among students, alumni, business leaders, and the broader La Sallian community nationwide. This is Brother Armin Luistro, not just an educator, a religious brother, advisor, and influencer whose leadership helped steer a nation. Number 9 is Luis Antonio Gokim Tagle, Cardinal of the Catholic Church, global church leader, and former Archbishop of Manila. Cardinal Tagle is from Manila, Philippines. He finished his bachelor's degree in philosophy at Ateneo de Manila University, and later completed his master's and doctoral studies in theology at the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. He is a member of the Roman Catholic Church, the country's largest religious institution, representing roughly 70% of the population. Why is Cardinal Tagle in the top 10? Because of two reasons. First, he shaped political behavior without ever endorsing a candidate. His homilies and interviews pushed Filipinos to judge leaders through conscience, humility, and honesty. His moral clarity influenced national conversations during times of corruption, division, and public distrust. Second, because of his international networks. Tagle's role in the Vatican as prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples gave him global reach. He advised on development, humanitarian work, and social policies tied to national priorities. His influence extended far beyond the Vatican and Catholic community. This is Luis Antonio Tagle. Not loud, not partisan, yet impossible to ignore. Number 8 is Robert P. Reyes, the activist priest known nationwide as the Running Priest. Father Reyes is from Malabon City. He finished his A.B. philosophy at Ateneo de Manila University. He later served as parish priest of the UP Diliman Chapel, where his voice reached the most politically active community in the country. He is a priest of the Roman Catholic Church, influential among students, civic groups, human rights advocates, and church workers who follow his calls for truth and accountability. Why is Father Reyes in the top 10? Because he carries real moral authority and public conscience. His years at the UP Diliman Chapel placed him at the center of student activism and national discourse. UP students, scholars, youth leaders, and alumni amplified his voice across campuses, social movements, government offices, and the business community nationwide. These UP listeners became the movers of today and the leaders of tomorrow. His exposure to UP gave him access to media, opinion makers, and the country's elite. When he spoke on poverty, injustice, or state abuse, his words were heard across the nation. And second, because he moves people. His runs, charity actions, and public events turn faith into action. His presence shapes public opinion, and politicians take notice. This is Father Robert Reyes, not just a priest, a symbol of faith in motion. Number 7 is Sheikh Said Ahmad Bashir, chairman of the Imam Council of the Philippines and one of the most respected Muslim voices in the nation. Sheikh Bashir was born on August 3, 1951, in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, to Maranao parents from Marawi, Lanao del Sur. He studied business at Manuel L. Quezon University and later trained in Islamic propagation and theology at Al-Azhar University in Cairo, Egypt. One of the most respected Islamic institutions in the world. He is a Sunni Muslim scholar whose influence reaches mosques, prayer communities, and Muslim families in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and Mindanao. Muslims make up 7% of the Philippine population, and many look to religious scholars like Bashir for guidance on faith, peace, and public issues. Why is Sheikh Bashir in the top 10? Because he became the national voice of Filipino Muslims. As chairman of the Imam Council, he guided imams across the country and spoke for Muslim communities during debates on extremism, peace processes, discrimination, and national policy. His words shaped how Muslim Filipinos understood justice, governance, and social order. And because he promoted peace when the nation needed calm, he condemned violence as un-Islamic, supported interfaith dialogue, and worked with leaders across religious lines. His influence reached government agencies, media networks, and civic organizations that often sought him for moral clarity on Muslim beliefs and Muslim religious affairs. This is Sheikh Said Ahmad Bashir, not just an imam, a bridge between communities, a moral voice for peace. Number 6 is Apollo Carrion Quiboloy, founder and executive pastor of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, KJC, one of the most organized and politically active religious groups in the country. Quiboloy is from Davao City. He has no college degree but has studied theology at the United Pentecostal Bible Institute, where he began shaping the doctrine and community that later grew into the KJC. He is a charismatic religious leader with a nationwide and international following. KJC has roughly 6 million members, with a loyal core, roughly 2 million, that actively participates in church missions, media programs, and community events. This base gives Quiboloy considerable influence during election cycles, especially in Mindanao. Why is Quiboloy in the top 10? Because he built political relevance through strategic alliances. He supported major candidates in 2004, 2010, and 2016, including Rodrigo Duterte and roughly half of the current senators. And Because he commands a media empire. Through radio, television, and online platforms, Quiboloy amplified religious and political messages nationwide. His network shaped narratives, defended allies, and strengthened his position as a political actor. Even now that he is in detention, many followers still echo his words, showing how strong his influence remains inside the KJC community. This is Apollo Quiboloy, not just a preacher, a religious leader whose political reach extended far beyond the pulpit. Number 5 is Gregorio Aglipay Cruz y Labayan, revolutionary priest, nationalist leader, and founder of the Philippine Independent Church. Bishop Aglipay is from Batac, Ilocos Norte. He studied college at Colegio de San Juan de Letran before transferring to the University of Santo Tomas, where he finished his Bachelor of Arts degree. He later completed his priestly formation in Vigan. He is the first Supreme Bishop of the Iglesia Filipina Independiente, a church that today has around 1 million members, mostly in Luzon and parts of the Visayas. About 20% of its members are active and politically engaged. This base makes the IFI one of the largest historic nationalist churches in the country. Why is Bishop Aglipay in the top 10? Because of 2 reasons. 1, because he merged faith with nationalism. He fought in the revolution, challenged colonial authority, and used the pulpit to awaken Filipino political identity. His words shaped how early Filipinos understood freedom, sovereignty, and self-rule. And 2, because he entered the political arena himself. In 1935, he ran for President of the Commonwealth, confronting the political elite with a platform rooted in Filipino pride. His movement helped define the political consciousness of the early republic. This is Gregorio Aglipay, not just a priest, a revolutionary who used faith to shape a nation. Number 4 is Mariano Mike Zuniga Velarde, founder of El Shaddai, charismatic leader, and one of the most influential lay figures in the Catholic Church. Brother Mike is from Manila. He earned his BS in geodetic engineering from Fayate University in Manila before entering real estate and eventually founding the El Shaddai movement. He leads El Shaddai, one of the largest Catholic charismatic communities in the Philippines. Roughly 5 to 7 million people identify as members of El Shaddai, and between 15 and 25% of them are considered active members. El Shaddai members are known for loyalty, discipline, and block-style voting, especially in Metro Manila and major provincial cities. Why is Brother Mike in the top 10? Because he turned a religious revival into a political arena. For decades, national candidates, presidents, senators, and local leaders crossed his stage seeking his public blessing. When Brother Mike endorsed someone, the crowd listened. Politicians treated his rallies as mandatory stops. The second reason is this: his influence shaped elections. His endorsements were viewed as signals to millions of urban poor voters. His televised programs, massive gatherings, and charismatic preaching directly affected public sentiment. His movement helped tilt close races and strengthened the campaigns of numerous political figures. This is Mike Velarde, not just a charismatic leader, a man whose stage became a force in Philippine politics. Number 3 is Eduardo Eddie Cruz Villanueva, a national evangelical leader and founder of the Jesus is Lord Church. Brother Eddie is from Bocaue, Bulacan. He finished a degree in commerce among the top of his class at PUP. He passed the prestigious UP Law Aptitude exam, a remarkable honor for someone who did not take his pre-law degree from any UP campus. Unfortunately, he dropped out from the program due to its rigor and highly demanding nature. Yet he proved to everyone that failing in law school isn't the end of the world. He founded the Jesus is Lord Church Worldwide, JIL, and grew it into one of the largest evangelical movements in the country. JIL now has between 5 and 7 million members, with a strong presence in Metro Manila and Central Luzon. Many of its members are active and politically aware. giving Brother Eddie a powerful national base. Why is Brother Eddie in the top 10? For two reasons. First, because he transformed evangelical Christianity into a political force. He built networks, mobilized congregations, and united millions of believers into a community with a clear moral voice in national affairs. The second reason, he entered politics himself. He ran for president twice, and for the Senate once. Even in defeat, his campaigns awakened and united the evangelical vote. Through the CBAC party list, he entered Congress and fought for transparency and honest governance. This is Eddie Villanueva, not just a pastor, a builder of one of the most powerful evangelical communities in the nation. Number 2 is Jaime Sin, Cardinal of the Catholic Church and former Archbishop of Manila. Cardinal Sin was from New Washington, Aklan. He finished his priestly formation at St. Vincent Ferrer Seminary in Jaro, Iloilo, where he was ordained before rising through the Catholic hierarchy. He became the spiritual leader of more than 70% of Filipinos who identify as Catholic. His influence reached parish communities, lay organizations, and clergy networks. Why is Cardinal Sin in the top 10 most politically influential Filipino religious leaders? For many reasons, but two stand above the rest. One, because he shaped the nation during one of its most critical turning points. In 1986, his call over Radio Veritas brought crowds to EDSA and gave a powerful boost to a movement that ultimately ended the Marcos administration. His voice, calm yet commanding, became a key force that pushed the country into a new political era. Whether that change was good or bad depends on one's politics, but his influence at that moment is undeniable. 2, because he did it again in 2001. During the political crisis of the Estrada administration, Cardinal Sin called on Filipinos to stand firm in seeking clarity and accountability. His appeal strengthened public sentiment and encouraged citizens to participate in peaceful demonstrations. It was another pivotal moment that showed his ability to move people, shape public action, and influence the nation's political direction, regardless of where one stands on the issue. This is Jaime Cardinal Sin, not just a church leader, a catalyst of democratic change. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 1 in this ranking of the most politically influential religious leaders in Philippine history is Eduardo Villanueva Manalo, the executive minister of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Brother Eduardo is from Quezon City. He finished his BA in philosophy at UP Diliman and completed his ministerial training at the Iglesia ni Cristo School for Ministers. He leads the Iglesia ni Cristo, a religious community with around 4 million members in the Philippines and abroad. INC is known for its unity, discipline, and highly organized political participation. An estimated 80% of its members vote as instructed during elections, making it the strongest and most cohesive bloc vote in the country. Why is Eduardo Manalo the most politically influential Filipino religious leader? For many reasons, but the two most glaring are: 1, because no one delivers votes like he does. He oversees the only religious organization in the Philippines whose collective vote can swing national elections. Every 3 years, politicians from every party, from barangay hopefuls to presidential candidates, knock on INC's door. Their endorsement can boost a presidential campaign, save a struggling senatorial slate, or flip tight local races. And 2, because he expanded INC's reach nationwide and globally. Under his leadership, INC strengthened its congregations, international presence, media network, and humanitarian programs. This growth gave him a broader platform to guide millions of members on issues shaping society, governance, and public morality. This is Eduardo V. Manalo, not just an executive minister, a steward of the most decisive political force in Philippine democracy. Here's a fun fact. every presidential candidate endorsed by Eduardo Manalo and the Iglesia ni Cristo eventually won the presidency. No other religious leader in Philippine history holds a record this perfect, this consistent, and this powerful. Thank you for watching FunFact. If this video made you think, made you question, or gave you a deeper view of Philippine history and politics, hit like, share, and subscribe. New episodes are coming your way. Stay curious, stay informed, and remember, power comes in many forms. See you in the next video.